Alright, so there you go. And write it really good on you. Make sure it's pretty much a tattoo. You know. Sharpie, if I had one, I'd give it to you, but that's the best way to do it. And if you write it like day after day, it almost becomes a tattoo. Like in Ferguson, when I was writing the jail support number, like it became like almost a permanent tattoo. Like even showering and scrubbing at it, like, yeah, write over it, you know, every day with Sharpie so 59 viewers. This is Brian Hayes live outside the United States Federal Courthouse for the rally. Please spread this. I'll turn chat on. No messages so far. Audio, video good. Let me turn the ringtone off. Okay. So we have a small group, but it's 3:05, and I did bring my press badge, so I am credentialed media now. Not that that means anything. They were billy clubbing even AP photographers next to me last night. So far we have a group of about 40, I would say, but everything runs late. There's traffic getting here, construction and stuff like that. These lucky people get to park on the sidewalk. Mainstream media. ABC has 2 trucks. Hi.
Are you Brian?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Patty.
Patty.
And these are pops.
Oh, PM Beers.
Hi, how are you?
Are you the CNN guy?
No, they're
I'm a
cops.
police officer.
Oh, okay. You're PM Beers?
So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Glad to meet you.
Get nice pictures of
Hi, how are you?
let's pretend we're nice.
So they're plainclothes, all 3. There's another one there.
You know
In
exactly
a very fucking creepy way.
You don't have a badge, do you? Like oh, you have a thing on your shirt. LA County, what does it say? Community.
We're community relations from the police
Relations.
Yeah.
Community relations.
Yep.
CCCPD. I'm gonna catch up with Patty. PM Beers, awesome person. Just tweeted out. Audio, video is good. Awesome. 76. So for those just joining, it's around 3:10, 3:15. I had some trouble connecting the Ustream, but it's good now, and I'm live. The crowd is growing and will grow. There's a march, I think, scheduled at 5. I'm not sure where. Do you happen to know where the march is?
I didn't know there was a march scheduled. I just figured it would happen.
Yeah. Probably spontaneous march. So we got some LAPD. And back over here, I'm not sure if the stream can catch this. We got tons of Homeland Security. In my opinion, tons. Sorry. If you don't want your face on camera, let me know.
I don't.
Okay, alright. I'll try to avoid you then. Yes, we have Homeland Security here. It is a federal courthouse. And obviously the vans and such are unmarked. So we have 2, 3, 4 or so, half a dozen marked cruisers, and other vehicles that are obviously parked, ready to go. On my way here, I saw a ton. KTLA Channel 5 is out here as well, and that looks like Mobile Command right there. That looks like Mobile Command. Bus drove by. One that they might use Telemundo's here. But Mobile Command is that what I've been led to believe, that is the Mobile Command unit parked in the red zone about 10 feet from a fire hydrant. So there's that. Although there are people in the car, so if they had to move, they could. That was a truck. There were 3 of them that I witnessed last night. And apparently one of them was what dispersed the freeway shutdown protesters. So, yes. KTLA, Channel 5, CBS, ABC, Telemundo. ABC has 2 vans, and there are more around the corner. ABC actually has 3 vans. So this is the federal courthouse. Thank you all who are watching. Please tweet it out. I will share it. So this is the United States Federal Courthouse. Tall, but not as tall as City Hall. I'm pretty sure that's City Hall. Like I said, I'm not familiar with just to confirm, I got conflicting reports about NLG's jail support. Is that the right number? That's the one I've been giving out, so I want to make sure it's right.
Hang on, give me a second here. I don't know whose number that is. It might be right. But
Okay. Well, like in Ferguson, they have a dedicated jail support.
Yeah.
That would be something I would recommend for a big city like LA.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just to pass on to your,
Yeah.
you know, whoever.
Well, I have the number that I've been giving out, but it's a different number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's the home number of one of the attorneys.
Oh, okay.
Um,
And what is that number?
well, here, what's this number? Let's call it.
This
See what happens.
number is jail support. I wouldn't call it unless it was jail support, because there are 100+ people arrested last night.
Yeah, they're all in the Metro Detention Center. They're supposed to get out in about an hour.
They're supposed to get out in about an hour. They were detained.
313? 310-313?
310-313-3700. I wouldn't call it though, because there's probably lots of work going on trying to get them out.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Try to keep the line
No,
open.
no, no,
so.
check it out. Yeah, that's.
Oh,
that's,
yeah,
that's
just
the NLG's
to
office
save
number.
it. Oh, okay.
So it'll get an answering machine. I don't know if there's any.
So that is the NLG's office number,
Yeah.
the NLG chapter of LA.
Yes.
Okay. Are there multiple chapters of NLG within LA County?
No,
So just all of LA County has one NLG. Cool. And thank you, by the way.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm streaming with this hand, but NLG does thankless work, and they save many people and help many people, and you should all hug and thank your local NLG member. They are all volunteers. Some are lawyers, some are not. Another CBS truck pulled up. They are all volunteers, and you want to actually tell a little bit about NLG and kind of how it formed and the history and what you do and
National Lawyers Guild is the oldest mixed race bar association in America.
okay.
It was began to
Turn this on.
for progressive legal causes. It was one of the first organizations to defend black men in the South who had been accused of various crimes they didn't do, Scottsboro boys, things like that.
Okay.
Since then, take on a whole variety of causes.
Okay.
Very active in immigration reform at the court level.
Okay.
What happens in actually in the immigration courtrooms. We do legal observing. That's what we're most known for in the public.
Right.
Where we observe actions.
Right.
Mostly,
You take
patients-
notes, videos, photos, get
Right.
officers' names if there's an incident,
Right.
kind of thing.
and defend people whose rights have been violated.
So you-
and
so-
bring civil suits on occasion.
Okay, so regarding the lawyer or the structure, by the way, we have several cop cars back up there. Not sure if that's a just looks like a parking garage to me. I don't know what this building is. Hall of Justice. So you do have lawyers that work with the NLG.
Yes, up until I want to say 20 years ago, it was exclusively lawyers.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
now
right.
it includes law students
Right.
and some organizers.
And even in Ferguson, what I witnessed, even they were training, anyone and everyone that would go to a 2-hour, 3-hour,
for big
4-hour
actions, we'll
training.
change legal observers.
Yeah.
Just for particular actions.
Yeah.
Those people usually don't actually join the organization.
Uh-huh.
It's an ad hoc thing.
Yeah.
But they're welcome to.
Yeah. So when you have the hat on, what does that signify? Does that prevent you from doing certain things? Does that, I guess what I'm getting at is yesterday I saw an NLG legal observer that was getting beat by a cop with a nightstick.
It doesn't give us any special legal powers.
So yeah, they don't seem to respect you. Would that be a fair assessment? They don't
No, I
seem
wouldn't say
to.
that.
Okay.
The green hats are a deterrent.
They are a deterrent.
Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't mean they're 100% effective.
Right.
But it doesn't give you any special legal protection.
Right.
If you're wearing a green hat and
Right.
you're a group that's marched onto a freeway,
Yeah.
you're also on the freeway.
Yeah. Right. So can you give the viewers an update about the arrested? I know that LA Times was reporting 150 plus.
I don't know anything that contradicts that, but
Okay, did you happen to be there yesterday?
I wasn't yesterday.
Oh, okay.
The day before I was, but not
Do
yesterday.
you happen to know if Sibo and Ezel Ford's cousin was arrested? You don't happen to know that. I know that now this is something that KW Rose, Keith Rose, who is a very prominent legal observer and jail support guy in Ferguson that I met and helped actions with and stuff, jail support kind of stuff. He told me that it is improper and should be avoided to publicly tweet out, use social media, basically, the names, DOBs, and etc. Info of arrested people. Is that true? Would you agree with that?
For who to do it?
For
Obviously,
citizens.
people can do it themselves.
Citizens.
Would
you recommend against it?
Share their confidential information.
Right. Would you recommend against it?
I don't know.
You don't have
Even
an
know
opinion.
more than that.
Okay.
Why?
I think the reasoning behind his or his statement is that people have been fired for being at protests, being arrested, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean,
kicked
just
out
sort
their
of a common sense
families.
thing to do.
Uh-huh.
Well, why would you want to share somebody's personal information on the internet?
People think that it, help spread the cause, spread the word, free so-and-so. I saw multiple posts on Facebook today.
You said birth dates or?
No, I didn't see any DOBs being shared on that Facebook post I'm talking about. Just names, yeah, but definitely.
That should be up to the person who's arrested.
That should be up to the person who was arrested. A bus drove by, so that's what he said. Should be up to the person arrested. And for new viewers, again, we are in LA and outside the federal courthouse. I've been talking with a legal observer. Thank you.
Sure.
And these are cops, all 4 of them. Patty has PM Beers here.
I need to ask you to do something.
Okay, you want me to mute?
You can leave that on.
Okay.
Just like every now and then, just let people know, hey, we're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
We're at this intersection.
Yeah.
Because we have somebody watching the streams at home.
Yeah.
And what they're gonna do is they're gonna go into the invite and they're gonna update the location.
Oh, okay.
Which is what I did last night.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I just told people to follow my Twitter last night.
Okay. Cool.
So I got like 85 followers last night on Twitter because people just wanted to, and the march I could see kept growing and growing. So if you guys are at work and you want to come to the march, just look at the event invite.
Look at the event invite on Facebook.
Somebody will be in there posting.
Someone will be posting updates as to the current location of the march. I did my best last night. Did I do? Any tips for me?
Just more often letting people know.
More often?
What city are you in? What
Yeah.
protest? And when it's a march that people want to get to, just let people know.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends come into my chat and ask me.
Part of the problem is I'm unfamiliar with LA, so I don't know east, west, south, that kind of
I
thing.
really bad vision, so
Yeah.
the signs at night.
Yeah.
But we'll just try.
Yeah, I tried to say it and also video it.
How many people are watching?
Right now I got 134. I just started though,
That was a
so
lot last night.
yeah, I got like 20. I think at the max 29,000. Or sorry, 2,900.
I'll stream later after
something.
we start getting.
Okay. So PM Beers will be streaming later. You can.
Did you show the new LAPD uniforms?
Are they're community relations is what they told me.
They're cops.
They're real LAPD full-on cops.
I think so. One of them said it was, yeah.
Okay. So according to Patty, these are full-on cops. And this is their new outfit. So maybe this is what they'll be dressed like. The tag on their shirt does say LAPD Community Relations with the OCOP, and I'm getting my camera photo taken.
Deceive the minority, just follow the majority.
So yes, more people are arriving. I am going to take a seat. There's not really much going on. Let me actually. You want to say anything to the viewers?
It's my first time protesting, but it's for a good cause. And
Really?
I hope everyone else. Yeah. It's my
First time?
Yeah.
All right.
First timer. My good brother here brought me out here, and I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Are you here?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I've been out here the past 3 days.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep.
Well, I'm John.
Brian.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
Brian?
Brian.
Ryan. Nice to meet you.
You said Ryan?
Brian.
Brian, okay.
Yeah. So let me turn chat back on. Good audio, video, good. Yes, I will stay up. I'm just gonna sit down and kind of wait. Although, who got Bassam got arrested at gunpoint?
Oh, okay.
At gunpoint. He got arrested at gunpoint. LA got crazy yesterday. Who knows what'll happen today?
Get your boots and your mask. Get your rights about the stats. Take your life from the badge. Get your common phone out or else they kicking your ass. We find it sad, but they make
Want to talk about Michael Brown and Marissa Alexander for people who are watching that might not know?
Yeah, well, obviously Michael Brown was shot down in the street, laid out there for 4.5 hours,
Right.
taken out.
Maybe more about Marissa Alexander.
Right, just to draw a comparison.
Yeah, yeah.
So, he couldn't even get an indictment for Darren Wilson.
Yeah.
Marissa Alexander shot a warning shot in a state where they have standard ground law, which has been used repeatedly to defend the murders of black men and people of color in general. And she tried to use the standard ground defense, but she fired a warning shot at her.
Right. I heard that. Yeah. Right
partner,
after Zimmerman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Zimmerman got off.
Right.
He didn't officially use the standard ground defense, but it was out there in the air, right? They utilized it to change the jury's mindset, right? And Marissa Alexander, who actually was being attacked by encroached upon by her partner, who had a history of abusing her violently. She fired a warning shot. No one was injured at all, and she got sentenced to 20 years. The case got thrown out because of improper. Because of prosecutorial misconduct or whatever, and there was a retrial, and the prosecution went after her even harder and tried to get 60 years. 60 years for somebody.
60 years.
And no one was injured, even.
Yeah, no one was injured. It was a warning shot.
Exactly. I think it's important to recognize people have even from the guns rights movement have said that, well, women should just have guns. But this is the thing, when women of color use guns to defend themselves, they go to prison. And even when no one was injured at all. Now they're offering her a plea deal, which she might end up taking, even though she's innocent.
And what is the plea deal? How many years?
3 years, but she's already served over 1,000 days in prison, so she'll almost have time served.
So she's almost had time served with over 1,000 days in jail, and might take a plea deal for 3 years.
It has to do with the dehumanization of the black body, right? Because this idea that basically like a black person can never be a victim. They're always seen as a criminal, and that's like what happened. And that's where the connection is between Michael Brown, right? Because like Bob McCullough got up there, the prosecutor got up there, and instead of defending Michael Brown, he's supposed to be the person defending the victim, right?
My name's Tiana Selena.
Right, and instead he
This is my husband Jubilee.
ended up defending the perpetrator.
Right now, I guess we're gonna do a picket line and just come together in solidarity and unity. I know a lot of people are still arriving and whatnot, so we're just gonna start a picket line. Appreciate Pastor Logan.
Yeah, maybe you can text it to me.
And the picket line is in a circle right here, and just keep moving. So if anybody wanna just get to forming that picket line, I can't.
I'm on Citizen Streams. Awesome. I forgot to tweet them before.
All right, Pastor Logan, I just want to, we appreciate Kiana and Brother Jubilee bringing us together and everyone coming out together. We recognize that injustice does not have a holiday, but that we have to stand and let our voices be heard. So we're going to make sure we don't impede pedestrian the walkway, but we do want to just kind of circle around about. So if we can get everybody to turn to my right and your left, I guess it is, and then we'll just make a complete circle all the way down. We can go down to the end of each of the blocks and just kind of circle around and make your voices heard. Is that all right? All right. Ready, we go. So we'll start going this way, and someone lead, and then we'll circle around. We'll just one single file, if you don't mind, single file, and just kind of make the circle. Single file. Let's get it started. Is that all right? All right. Ready, we go.
Want to say anything to the viewers? Want to say anything to the viewers?
Live streaming?
Yeah.
To where are you from?
LA.
Okay.
Well, I'm not from LA, but I've been living here.
Well, hey now. He would not let me into the house today. He like knows when something's up, you know?
Yeah.
See me back in the car.
Yeah.
And getting ready. He knew. He would not leave me alone for like the last hour. Hi, sunshine.
Well, thank you.
I'm fed up. I'm fed up.
Can't take it no more.
I'm fed up.
Can't take it no more.
I'm fed up.
Can't take it no more.
Fired up.
Can't take it no more.
Fed up.
Can't take it no more.
Fired up. Fed up. Fired up. You're like no justice, no peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
So we have the picket line.
No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No
Palestinian flag.
No justice.
Eric Garner sign.
No racist. Police. No justice.
Another Gaza Palestinian solidarity sign.
No peace. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now.
You're welcome. Everyone's saying thank
When do
you.
we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice.
I ordered a monopod with the donations I got last night, and with data being the way it is, I would encourage people to still donate. It is in the description or info of my stream.
No racist. No justice. No peace. No racist.
Brian. Brian.
Brian?
Brian.
Brian. Oh, so you were on the page earlier.
Yeah. Jennifer? Okay, nice to meet you.
I'm Nikki.
What's that?
Nicole.
Nicole, nice to meet you.
Last night.
Yeah. Past 3 days I've been out. What's that?
I'm just
Occupy LA? Okay.
the clan.
So we're still in LA. We are at outside the United States Federal Courthouse in LA. We have obviously news covering this, and as as I said earlier, Homeland Security parked in the lot of this building, and cops staged up, although the mobile command has left. That is the Hall of Justice right there. So, due to the injuries I got yesterday, I got some dead legs in both legs from the billy clubs they were using, and like I was saying, I already have a really poor appetite and have been having trouble eating, and have lost a ton of weight and atrophied all the muscles in my legs. So for the march, I will follow in my vehicle and still stream, but follow and be one of the follow vehicles, or whatever you want to call it. So now the crowd has grown to around 100. We have more NLG. Yes, we do have mods. Linda, I think you are a mod. If not, someone make her a mod. And Anon Rasta, also make her a mod. I think both of them already are. If not, make them mods. They're both good people. Private security, some sort. So again, if I'm arrested, to recap, only KW Rose, at KW Rose, Keith Rose, he's in Ferguson. He has my legal info and DOB to get me out. And who else does? PM Beers, right here. PM Beers. She is also a streamer, longtime streamer, so also a good person to follow on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. I know she has a Twitter and a Facebook. I got jabbed in the legs by the billy club last night. I have some legs. So I'm going to be streaming the march from my car, kind of follow march. Should I do that like middle of the march? I mean, what's your advice? Never done that? Okay. Bicycle, yeah. I should have brought my bike.
Let's
again, I will be streaming the march around, I think 5 p.m. is when it's supposed to start. I will be streaming that from my car. Because of the dead legs from the billy clubs, it was hard just to walk up from where I parked. They really did a number, and my chest also has bruises.
We don't get no peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Although, like I said, I have identifying tattoos, so I'd like to not photograph the wounds, the bruises, but
If we don't get no justice, we don't get no peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice.
that march is not supposed to start till 5 p.m. Again, we are outside the U.S. Federal Courthouse in LA. We have not started marching. We are, the protesters are forming a picket line, and I would say the numbers have definitely grown to over 100. I would say maybe 150. Freedom of speech does not matter as long as you keep it civil in my chat and don't say any racist, derogatory, hate speech, anything like that. Talk about killing people, threats, all that. Posting of public info in either direction. That means the trolls. I don't want the trolls' public info being posted, and I don't want the protesters' public info being posted. So those are both rules for getting kicked.
I wanted to speak to right now.
But you do not have to kick everyone who is opposed. As long as they stay respectful.
Organized democracy, organized struggle, revolutionary democracy.
Keep the circle going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I don't want to be able to. I don't want to have to. If y'all want to stop
Yes,
here,
hate speech is free speech. This is a private area,
I
though.
want y'all to be able to hear this. This is a resolution.
So I will not tolerate it.
South Central Neighborhood Council. I'm going to read this resolution. It's in regards to Ezel Ford, who was murdered by LAPD on August 9th, and Omar Grego, who was murdered by LAPD on August 2nd. I'm sorry, Ezel Ford was murdered on August 11th. The South Central Neighborhood Council calls on Councilman Kern Price to introduce a resolution to the Los Angeles City Council to direct the Los Angeles Police Department to immediately release the autopsy reports for the homicides of Omar Grego and Ezel Ford. The South Central Neighborhood Council declared that on October 21st, 2014, a Brown Act notice public meeting was held with a quorum of 8 board members present, and that a vote of 8 yes, none no, and no abstentions. The South Central Neighborhood Council, thank you, adopted the following statement unanimously. Omar Grego was beaten to death by LAPD's Newton Division August 2nd, 2014, in front of his home at 69th and Main Street, still in his work uniform. On August 11th, Ezel Ford was attacked, beaten to the ground, and witnesses claim that he was shot 3 times in his back while walking in his neighborhood by LAPD's Newton Division. Both men were unarmed. According to LAPD Chief Charles Beck, the autopsy reports for both men have been available since August. To date, the LAPD has refused to release the autopsy reports to the families and to the public. This This has led to increased concerns in our community because it gives the impression that the LAPD is trying to conceal the truth of how these men died. The families and community have a right to know how and why these men were killed. There is no legitimate reason to maintain secrecy other than to cover up the continued abuse of power in the LAPD. The South Central Neighborhood Council fully supports the community's demand that the autopsy results be released immediately. The families of Omar Abrego and Ezell Ford in our community have the right to know the cause of their death. Therefore, the South Central Neighborhood Council calls on Councilman Curran Price to introduce a resolution to the Los Angeles City Council to direct the Los Angeles Police Department to immediately release the autopsy reports for the homicides of Omar Abrego and Ezell Ford. We ask that all members of labor unions present, all members of organizations, churches, businesses, all organized people, all of you, we ask all of the community so that we can be a united front in the community. Please come forward and sign on to this resolution. The LAPD is under the jurisdiction of the city of Los Angeles. So they are accountable to someone, and we need to hold them accountable. So we ask all members of the community in this organized struggle, like I said, churches, businesses, organizations, all of you, please come forward and sign on to this resolution. There are copies of this resolution available. We also have clipboards here. Please pass this clipboard around. Put your name and all your information on the clipboard so that we can be in touch with you. My husband is one of the organizers for this and the protest yesterday, Jubilee Shine. He's also on the South Central Neighborhood Council. He's the one who introduced this resolution, a labor organizer and an organizer in the community. And so we want to continue to just bring everybody so that we could be a united front. This gentleman right here in the green hat holding this sign, Justice for Carlos Oliva. This is the father of Carlos Oliva. Carlos Oliva was murdered by East LA sheriffs. Carlos Oliva was riding his skateboard home in East Los Angeles. He wasn't bothering anybody because he was riding his skateboard on the same street that a domestic disturbance call occurred on. They stopped him. They beat him. And like anybody else, any human, he wanted his life, and he ran because he was afraid for his life. He ran, and he had right to be afraid for his life because East LA sheriffs murdered black and brown people. And so he ran for his life, and they shot him 6 times in the back. 6 times in the back. And there's been no indictment. There's been no accountability for the murder of Carlos Oliva, for the murder of Ezell Ford, for the murder of Omar Abrego. And so we call on Councilman Curran Price to introduce a resolution to release the autopsy report, as well as we call on
Sorry,
Attorney
Linda,
Jasmine
I don't
Reese.
know how to do that from the screen. Let me try that though.
That's right. We want charges, so we want local charges for the murders of Carlos Oliva, Ezell Ford, Omar Abrego. And we recognize, as we stand in solidarity with the people in Ferguson, and as we demand federal charges for what happened to Mike Brown, we recognize that there are Mike Browns in our community, and that we must come together
Doesn't
in our
look
local
like I
effort.
can do that.
And we must seize these positions of power, and we must hold our local elected officials accountable for justice in this community, because we live here. We live here. So we ask, come forward, put your name on the clipboard, and let's continue. We want revolutionary democracy. We want to take these positions of power. Coming up is the council seat where ex-corrupt police chief, what's his name? Bernard Parks. That seat is getting ready for city council, is getting ready to be open. Who is someone in our community that we can run to take this position? Someone that is for the people, that we can put into this position of power so that they can use their power to hold these elected officials accountable and in the best interest of the community. We can seize these positions in Newark, New Jersey. Councilman of the North Ward, Raz Baraka, and he's also the principal of Central High School. And with the solidarity and the organization of the unions, of the community, we watch the hood beat Wall Street, the contender. Newark, New Jersey, also known as Brick City. That's where Redman is from. That's where Laurel Hill is from. It is the ghetto. It's the projects. They beat Wall Street. They beat Wall Street. They were outspent by millions and millions of dollars. But because they were organized and they were united, poor white workers, labor unions, black people, Puerto Rican people. They were all together, and they took that mayoral election, and now Ras Baraka is making the police in Newark, New Jersey get out of their patrol cars and walk the streets and get to know the people they police instead of just sitting in their patrol car. Ras Baraka had a closed door meeting and brought all the people who are on paperwork, all the gangsters in the community together in a closed door meeting. They kept the media out and they kept the police out. The only security members they allowed were members of the Nation of Islam. And they had a closed door meeting with the people in the community, you know, who are on paperwork, who have committed crime, to get together and figure out how do we uplift this city. That's revolutionary democracy right there. Don't let anybody tell you that electoral politics cannot work in your favor. Don't let anybody tell you that these votes that so many people who have died for, that they used to kill us, and they kill white people too to help us register to vote. We weren't always allowed to vote. So don't let nobody tell you that electoral politics is soft. They killed Ras Baraka's father, Amiri Baraka, during this election. They killed Mayor Chokwe Lumumba. These men died mysteriously during this election. Don't let them tell you that it's passive politics. Don't let people bait you into thrill seeking or into something, a maybe mission or a suicide mission. We got to take these positions of power. Protesting is not a strategy. Protesting is a way to bring awareness. It's a way to bring people together, but it's not a strategy. We need to take power. We need power, and we need to seize these local positions, and that's what they do. Carlos Montez is running for city council. We need to support that. He is one of the founding members of the Brown Berets in this community. We need to support that candidate, Carlos Montez. Vote for him for city council as well. We need to make sure that we have somebody that we can nominate. All we need is 500 signatures. We need to get out there. No, it's not as thrilling, or it doesn't bring glory like, you know, folks who are thrill seekers. It's hard work. It's organizing. We got to get up early. We got to hit the streets. We got to knock on doors. We got to mobilize, but it's effective. And so we need to make sure that we have somebody for District 9, have somebody for District 8. We need to make sure we are electing these people in our community that are for the people and that have been putting in work in this community for years. Ras Baraka, he started off as just a community organizer, you know, and then he became a councilman. He became a principal at Central High. This is over 20 years in the making. They didn't just do this overnight. Over 20 years ago, they ran him for mayor. It was just a ragtag team, and Jubilee Shine, or Cliff Smith, some of y'all know him as Jubilee Shine, he was there for that effort. He comes from New Jersey. They have a higher level of consciousness out there. They don't let people just come in from nowhere and run their cities. Right now, they're in a fight to keep the school superintendent from taking over their schools and turning the public schools into charter schools where they can make rules that black girls can't wear their hair like this, and that brown people cannot wear their hair in locks or twists. That these private schools have the right to impose these rules on our children. You know, so we got to keep these public schools, because this is, I mean, they trying to go back to the Jim Crow era and the rights that they trying to take away. We can't let them take over our public schools. You know, we need, that's right, we need community control. We want community control over the police. An all-elected, all-civilian police control board. We don't just want oversight. We don't want to review what the police have already done. We don't want to review what the police are doing. We want the power. We want the authority, just like on the school board. We want the power. We want all-elected, all-civilian police control board with all authority over all aspects of the police department, from firing, from hiring, residency requirements. We want them to come from the same neighborhoods they police. We want to know where their children go to school. We want to know where they do their grocery shopping. We want accountability. That's accountability. That's power. We can put that on the ballot. We can put that on the ballot. We got to keep mobilizing. We got to keep coming together. Don't let no divisive person get in your mind and tell you nobody is born racist. That is engineered. That is social engineering, racism. So don't let nobody tell you we all oppressed. Some of us suffer national oppression. Some of us suffer by way of our gender, by the relationships that we choose. But don't let nobody divide us, because united we stand. It's only when they divide us that they can keep the poor white workers thinking, oh, the problem is the brown people. The problem is people of oppressed nations. Or they can keep brown people thinking that they have no power. That's not true. We need to come together. Black, brown, poor whites, Asian. I don't care where you're from. I don't care your nationality, your sexual orientation. It doesn't matter. We gotta stand together. We gotta stand together. We live together. We're born together. We have to work. The ruling class don't have to work. They just set the rules for us. But we are many, and they are very few. It's 1/10. 1/10. You know, of 1% is making these rules for us. Who are they? You know, so we need to come together so overthrow these people, because at the end of the day, it's about power. No, we wouldn't care about like white supremacy. That's engineered by these capitalists. You know what I mean? Racism is imposed systematically. We wouldn't care I don't care what somebody think of me if they don't have the power to do nothing to me. But because they have the power to impose it, they have the power to let people like Darren Wilson go free. We have to take the power back. So don't let nobody keep you divided. We gotta stand together. We gotta seize these electoral positions. We gotta hold our community accountable.
Hey, what did you say we all have to do this? I've been doing this 35 years. We've been doing this 35 years.
Right now I'm going to have the father of Carlos Saliba. Carlos Saliba was murdered by East LA sheriffs.
Nothing to do with color. We all have to do this unity. If we don't do this way, they're going to keep
right now I'm going to have, this is the father of Carlos Saliba.
Power to the people. We taking this shit to the people. No religion, none of that. And it got nothing to do with religion. It's all about
Is there anybody that speaks Spanish that can come up here and translate?
people. Power to the people.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister.
You know what I mean? We keep forgetting about the people.
It's about all of us. I just want to share.
No. No, it's the people, ain't no cat. All the people out here ain't no cat.
Lo que quiero decirle aquí a toda la gente que está presente,
gracias
por estar apoyando esta protesta.
None of us out here no cat. We have interest in this country. We have serious interest in America. We got interest in here. It's nothing to do with religion. None of that. It's the people. Yo, this is your party. This is your time. This is your time to shine in America and get this shit right.
Lo que yo quiero decirle es de que mi muchacho fue justamente balaceado por lo que estoy viendo allá de aquel lado, y no tenía que haber pasado eso, que fue mucha negligencia.
What I'd like to say is that my son was unjustly shot, and it was on negligence on part of the police.
Porque el señor que asesinó a mi hijo estaba trabajando en la oficina y el hombre chino lo sacó a la calle a patrullar cuando no tenía que haber sido.
The police officer that shot my son worked behind a desk, and he was sent out to patrol when he usually does not. That's it.
Where was that?
He said that the police officer shot
Thank you.
East LA.
My name's Najee Ali.
That was
I'm
East
organized in
LA.
our community, and I'm with the National Action
Happened
Network.
in East
We're out here to
LA.
make a solidarity statement. We want to thank the organizers for this event today, where they bring us together. The one thing I'm going to say is, once Ferguson, Missouri grand jury refused to indict Darren Wilson for the murder of Michael Brown, I lost all faith in the justice system. I have no faith in the justice system anymore. But I do have faith in you. I have faith in humanity, because when I look out here, I see white people, Latino people, Asian people, black people. I see people of all races fighting for justice. So my faith is in humanity. My faith is in you. So if we stick together, we'll win. I want to thank you, and we're here in solidarity. I want to thank the coalition for making control over the police.
Next, I want to introduce Louis Logan from the Labor and Clergy Alliance.
Audio, video,
No
good.
justice, no racist. Sisters and brothers, it's a blessing to see everybody here together. I also want to echo the sentiments of those who've come before me in thanking Brother Jubilee and Sister Kiana for organizing and bringing us together. I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here. I want to thank you for being one in purpose, one in mind, and one in destiny. It is important for us as we make this statement to recognize that it's more than a Kodak moment. This is a movement. And I want to thank you in advance for signing up, not just speaking out, but stepping up. This is going to be a journey. This is going to be a long distance run. But if we organize ourselves together, I know we can make an impact. This is the last thing I want to say, and I am cheering with us. I'm not here to ask for anybody to give me authority to oversee and have oversight over the popo. 5-0, I'm not asking for authority, I'm taking authority. I believe that the people ought to organize a people's board, and that the legitimacy comes from our particular concerns, our claims, and our need to be served and protected by those who we pay. We need to be able to hold them accountable, and the people have to be in charge of that. And so while we ask for, and while we speak to the various municipalities, ultimately, oversight begins and ends with the people. A People's Police Review Board is what we're working for. I want to thank you in advance for putting your blood, sweat, and tears on the line, because that is what it's going to take. It's going to take all of us together, and it's going to take all of us continually. Thank you. God bless you. And the people, united, can never be defeated. God bless you.
I wanted to speak to one more time. There's clipboards. There's about 3 clipboards going around. If you hold one of the clipboards, if you know what one it is, please hold it high in the air. Please sign your name, put your information, so we can keep coming out together, so we can strategize and build and organize together in anything that we're doing. We can, put you up on that and inform you, and anything that you're doing, you can inform us. So I don't know where the clipboards are.
Don't take it, please don't take it.
Okay, 2 of them are over here, so please, yeah, we're missing one.
Audio, video, good.
Okay, one's over there, so please just make sure you sign in so we can inform you, and you can inform us and send them back to us. Next, I'm going to have Ivy from Affirm.
Militant greetings. My name is Ivy Kitchell, and I'm the National Organizing Director for Affirm, a transnational feminist, anti-imperialist organization. We stand here with you all today, and we find it fitting that this falls in the middle, actually towards the beginning of the 16 days of activism against gender violence, because we in Affirm believe that state violence is violence against women. We believe that from Palestine to Mexico to Ferguson to LA, we demand an end to state violence. We demand an end to patriarchy. We demand an end to capitalism. And we demand that killer cops be jailed now. We stand with you today. We stand with you tomorrow. And we will continue to organize until the people and the women are free. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Thank you.
And as we come together too, what kind of justice do we want? We want charges, and so that's why I began to chant, when we've done our protests, we say, what do we want? Charges, because that's what we want. We want charges, local, from Ezel Ford, for Carlos Oliva, for Omar Abrego, and federal charges for Mike Brown. So what do we want? Charges! When do we want them? Now! What do we want? Charges! When do we want them? Now! That's right. Next, I'm going to have Felicia Montez come up and speak. This is the daughter of Carlos Montez, one of the original founding members of the Brown Berets, and who's also running for city council.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Buenas tardes, hermanos y hermanas. Muchas gracias por venir. I find it fitting here today we come together for another day of asking for justice and asking for our communities to come together for not only justice but also for our communities' dignity. Entonces, muchas gracias a todos por venir. Es muy importante estar aquí, nomás honrando y exigiendo justicia, pero también estamos en comunidad aquí hablando de justicia y dignidad. Si están en Ferguson, si están en Ayotzinapa, si están en el este de Los Ángeles, si están en el centro de Los Ángeles, exigimos dignidad y justicia. If you are in Ferguson, Ayotzinapa, East LA, Los Angeles, or wherever you are coming from, we are asking for this justice for all. Just yesterday, Los Angeles. Yesterday we are part of an East LA rally and vigil for Ricardo Lara and Eduardo Bermudez, killed about 10 days ago, laid out for 9 hours without being touched. Again, the same emergency vehicles not let in. 2 community members shot dead by East LA sheriffs. And what is happening? The same. Nothing. There's not dignity. There's not justice. So I would like us to all to make sure to honor all those. Justice for Mike Brown. Justice for Carlos Oliva. Justice for Eduardo Bermudez. Justice for Ricardo Lara. And also remember the connections to Ayotzinapa, to the 43 state-sanctioned killings. Again, the state coming together in Ayotzinapa. And also today I wear a huipil. I wear traditional woven clothing that is from Mexico, and it's of the Chiapas Zapatista women, honoring the women of Juarez who have healed. So again, you see solidarity. Entonces ahorita estoy otra vez exigiendo a la justicia para todos los que han estado matados por la policía y por los sheriffs del este de Los Ángeles. Anoche estuve con unos de la familia, muchos haciendo un vigil, una marcha en todo el este de Los Ángeles, porque no nomás en otras partes, pero tenemos que estar no nomás en solidaridad, pero haciendo y organizando nuestras comunidades. So it's not only about going to other communities and in solidarity with those across the world, but really organizing in our communities. And that's why my father, the former Minister of Information for the Brown Berets in the 60s and 70s, and having worked for 30, 40, almost 50 years now in the movement, is also running for City Council of CD14 in East LA, downtown, and all the local areas. So please find more information about that. Please find how you can connect, whether it's a women's group, an organization, a youth group. All of us are coming together to fight for justice. What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Oh, muchas gracias.
Don't forget, what we want, charges. We want charges. That's the kind of justice we want. We want to be specific about the justice that we want. Right now I'm going to introduce Lucha from the Revolution Club.
Thank you. I'm with the Revolution Club. We're supporters and work with the Revolutionary Communist Party. And we're out here because, like with people all across this country, we are sick to death of the murders of black and brown youth. And the non-indictment of Darren Wilson was a message to the whole country and the whole society. It was a green light on our youth. And I say our youth because no matter what color we are, these are our youth. Anybody with a sense of justice in their hearts has to stand up and fight against the murder of black youth in this society and say no more of this. No more of this. And not accepting another day of this. And people heroically have been standing up around the country. In Ferguson, they're saying all these things, all the violence and the chaos and the da-da-da-da. What's happening is people have taken a clear look at reality. And people have acted in ways that are heroic. People have stood up and refused to go along with and accept another day of them murdering our youth. And this is what is needed. All across the country, the ways in which people are taken to the streets, people have blocked freeways, people have done die-ins, people in Oakland, in Seattle, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of high school students in Seattle, all across, yeah, that's right, 170 cities, that's what they just said on CNN, 170 cities that have taken to the streets. This is exactly what needs to be happening, and we need to stay in the streets.
That's right.
And the whole way that we're going to be able to fight this. But from my opinion, this standing up right now has to be part of building a movement to make a revolution. Yeah. We got to get rid of this whole system. We got to totally uproot it. And people should check out Bob Avakian if you don't know about him, and a vision and strategy for a whole new society and for making revolution. And go to revcom.us, and that's how you can find out about this. And the last thing I'll say is, for right now, what I would propose for everybody who wants to stay in the streets, if everybody doesn't know, they arrested over 180 people in this city last night. Somebody said 200. It's more than anywhere else in the country. It is fucking outrageous. And we have to stand with the people that have been arrested. And I think we should do a march to the jail. And I think we should demand that they release our brothers and sisters and that they drop all the charges. So anybody who wants to do that, I don't know how sooner or later this rally is ending, but when it ends, let's go. Let's get in the streets and let's go to the jail and let's demand, drop all the charges, release everybody arrested.
Do you know what the charges are?
I also want to take the time to acknowledge our brother Damon Turner. He was arrested this morning. He's a member of Black Lives Matter. He led the movement to get a Crenshaw stop right there in Leimert Park, so that they can't keep bypassing our community, but that they have to stop and don't make our elderly people walk forever. So he led that movement to get a stop at Crenshaw. He's also part of the organization Black Lives Matter. He lost his voice, but he was arrested this morning, and so I want to take the time to acknowledge our freedom fighter in the organization Black Lives Matters. And if there are any other organizations, we want everybody to be well represented. If there are any people from organizations here, I invite you to come up and speak if you're representing an organization. I'm with the Coalition for Community Control Over the Police. That's my organization. My husband, Cliff Smith, or some of y'all know as Jubilee Shine. That's our strategy. You know, revolutionary democracy, just like what they just did in Newark, New Jersey, and just like seizing these local positions. We represent that we want community control over the police because we understand an oversight board is window dressing. Essentially, it's observing what the police are already doing, or a review board. We don't want to review what they've already done, and we don't want to window dress. We want full power. We want authority over all aspects of the department. You know, we want the disciplining. We want power to discipline. We want power to determine who gets fired and hired. So that's why we say represent community control over the police. But we're going to keep strategizing. The clipboards are going around. Please make sure that you sign in on one of the clipboards so that we can keep coming together and keep strategizing. Okay, right now I'm going to introduce Juisa from Radical Women.
My name is Juisa. I'm from Radical Women, and as a longtime resident of South LA, I know what it's like to have the cops circling above your home, flashing lights in your house, and when they patrol the neighborhood, they ask us, have you seen somebody? And I said, well, who are you looking for? And they say, young black man. I'm like, that describes half the neighborhood. No, I'm not going to help you murder black people in my own neighborhood. I was interviewed by media, and they said, well, there's the police commission. What about that? Because my picket sign says an elected civilian review board over the cops. So we definitely agree with the coalition around community control of the cops. So they said, so there already is their police commission, you know, that reviews this stuff. And I said, well, they're not elected, and they're not independent from LAPD. And if they were effective, then Ezra Ford's autopsy would have already been released. You know, so they're not effective. They don't represent working class people of color and working class people in the city of Los Angeles. So we definitely agree with the demand for, you know, community control over the police, because when the community does not control the police, it's immigrants that get deported, it's black and brown people that get harassed and murdered, and it's women who also lose their sons and their fathers and their uncles. And now is the time to organize a movement. I agree with movement organizing, where I'm so happy to see the women of color taking leadership over this movement, because without our leadership, we can't move forward. Any revolution that does not have the leadership of the most oppressed is doomed to keep repeating the same mistakes. So we have to listen to the women in Ferguson who have their own challenges. We need to stand with the women in Ferguson and the entire community and the family of Michael Brown and all the others in LA who should be here today. I want this to be the last damn protest around police murder. Don't you? Yeah. All right, well, thank you very much. And si se puede.
All right, I want to welcome Brother Jeremy from the Alpha Phi Alpha sorority. Fraternity, excuse me. I didn't do good in college.
Hello. My name is Jeremy Vasquez. I go to USC. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the first all-black fraternity founded in 1806. Yeah. Peace. I just want to say briefly how grateful I am to be here. Last night there was a protest at my university. 400 people came out. News was there. We were speaking. People were crying. This is more amazing than that, and I couldn't imagine when I was leaving work today I would come out here for something this special. I plan on having black children one day, probably my same complexion or darker, especially a king. I I did not want to have a candlelight vigil in his honor. I did not want to have an early funeral for him being a martyr in America. I did not want to explain to him a disadvantage of him to come out the way that I look. So being here today, seeing everybody unified, seeing men, women, everybody from across the states, up in the Bay Area, I came straight from the Bay to USC to change policy. My major is politics. This is what I'm doing right now, so it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here. Last but not least, one day we'll look back on this moment and we'll remember where we were when this happened. I was on a bus the other day and this guy was like, I was in 2 riots. I was on the bus riot. I was on a King riot. What are you doing, youngster? I'm going to college. I'm on my Snapchat right now, but I'll put it back. And he was telling me like, this is the social media generation. Everyone's doing something on their phone. What are you guys doing in the streets? So when we come out here, and we see this footwork, we see everybody out here talking. Everybody probably has work or something to do, but they're here instead. And that is sacrifice. And nothing's ever been accomplished without sacrifice. So thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you for this moment. And when I see that guy on the bus again, I'm going to tell him what we were doing out here without my phone. Thank you.
All right, I want to introduce Brother Jubilee Shine. He's Cliff Smith. He's a business manager at Rufus Local 36. He's a father. He's a husband, and he's also a community organizer. Some of you know by the name of Jubilee Shine.
All right.
What do we want? When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Charges. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Charges. When do we want them? Now. And we want the Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, to intervene in what's going on in Ferguson. We want federal charges filed now for the violation of the civil rights of Mike Brown. We want federal charges filed. Eric Holder prosecuted the police officers in New Orleans after the atrocities that they committed after the Katrina debacle. He prosecuted the police officers in New Orleans and had them convicted. Eric Holder put the police department of Seattle, of Albuquerque, of Newark, New Jersey under federal oversight because of the abuses of those local officers and the failures of the local criminal justice system to prosecute those police. And this is what Eric Holder needs to do in Ferguson. We need federal intervention and federal charges. When the Los Angeles police beat Rodney King, they brought those 4 officers up in local court, and they ran a little dog and pony show, and they were found not guilty in local court, and Los Angeles blew up. And the federal government realized they had no alternative but to step in and file federal charges against those police officers, and those same officers were convicted in federal court. For violating the civil rights of Rodney King, they were put in federal prison. That's what we need to happen in Ferguson. And that's what we need to happen in Los Angeles. These Los Angeles police are acting like wild dogs in our streets. They killed Omar Abrego on August 2nd, before Mike Brown was killed. 9 days later, on August 11th, they killed Ezel Ford on 65th and Broadway. They killed Omar Abrego on 69th and Main. This is 5 blocks apart. The same division, Newton Division. They beat Omar Abrego for 10 minutes in front of his house. They beat him to death on his sidewalk. 9 days later, they shot Ezel Ford in the back while he was on the ground. 3 shots in the back. The district attorney's office is right up the street. Her name is Jackie Lacey. Jackie Lacey wouldn't even release the names of these officers until the night before Ezel Ford's funeral, when Jazz Mechanic got their names released. Where are the autopsies for
audio, video, good?
Ford? This was August 2nd, and August 11th the police murdered these people. Where are the autopsy results? I'm a board member of the South Central Neighborhood Council. We took over our neighborhood council, and you should do the same in your neighborhood. Matter of fact, whatever organization that you can affiliate to, you need to take over the leadership of it. Whether it's your church, whether it's your PTA, whether it's your union, whether it's your gang, If you're part of an organization and your leadership only talking about when is the next party and how you're getting high, you got the wrong leadership. You need to confront your leadership. We need to take over the school board in Los Angeles. We need to take over the city council in Los Angeles. Who does the police department work for? But they work for the city government. That's a department of the city of Los Angeles. The city council and the mayor run the police department. These city council people are getting elected with 3,000 votes each. 3,000, there's enough people right here. If we put a petition in each of these people's hands and a voter registration form and went out on Crenshaw Boulevard, we could register enough people to run our own candidate. You know who the councilman is for Crenshaw? Bernard Parks. Who is Bernard Parks? He's the corrupt police chief that got ran out after the Rampart scandal. How is this man running the city government on Crenshaw Boulevard? This is our fault. We stand by and let these people take these positions of power. We need to take over every organization we can get our hands on, turn these positions into weapons and tools and resources to put to the disposal and the use of our communities. We need to grab every weapon available to us and turn it to the advantage of our communities. This is a resolution that our board passed on the South Central Neighborhood Council in regard to the failure of the police and the district attorney and the mayor to release the autopsy results for Omar Abrego and Ezel Ford. It's very short. Please bear with me. The South Central Neighborhood Council declared that on October 21st, we held a public meeting. We passed unanimously this resolution, whereas Omar Abrego was beaten to death by LAPD's Newton Division, August 2nd, 2014, in front of his home at 69th and Main Street, still in his work uniform. And whereas on August 11th, Ezel Ford was attacked, beaten to the ground, and witnesses claim that he was shot 3 times in the back while walking in his neighborhood by LAPD's Newton Division. And whereas both men were unarmed, and whereas, although according to LAPD Chief Charles Beck, the autopsy results for both men have been available since August, to date, the LAPD has refused to release the autopsy results to the families and to the public. And whereas this has led to increased concerns in our community that the LAPD is trying to conceal the truth of how these men died. And whereas the families and the community have a right to know how and why these men were killed. And whereas there is no legitimate reason to maintain secrecy other than to cover up the continued abuse of power in the LAPD, be it therefore resolved that the South Central Neighborhood Council fully supports
her wife
demand
with the
that
baby.
the autopsy results be released immediately.
Pretty sure.
And be it further resolved that we call our Councilman Curran Price, because we're in the 9th district, whatever district you're in, address that to your councilman.
They will be marching
soon. We call Councilman Curran Price to introduce a resolution to the Los Angeles City Council to direct the Los Angeles Police Department to release these autopsy reports immediately. The families of Omar Abrego and Ezel Ford and our community have a right to know the cause of their death. I have copies of this resolution. I'm asking, please, take a copy back to whatever organization that you're a member of, whatever church you're a member of, whatever school, wherever you work. Have your organization or whoever you can sign on to this resolution and demand that the mayor, Garcetti, the district attorney, Jackie Lacey, and the city council order the Los Angeles police to release these autopsy results. Because why do they want these autopsy results concealed in secret? Because they know that the autopsy is going to confirm what the people on the street on 65th Street already know, and the people on the street on 69th Street already know, that those young men were unarmed and they were murdered, that there was no cause for the officers to even approach these young men. And if they can approach Omar Abrego and Ezel Ford, they can approach anybody on that street and beat them to death or shoot them in the back and cover it up with the assistance and the complicity of the district attorney, the mayor, and the city council. We have to take these positions from these people. These people are murderers and accomplices after the fact. We cannot any longer stand by. Keanu said protesting is not a strategy. It's imperative that we be out here protesting. We have to come together, share our ideas. We have to argue about what the right direction is, what we need to do. We have to let the community know that we are here speaking in one voice. But protesting lynching itself is not going to get the job done. We need power. Whatever power we can get. If you could pick up a rock, that's more than you had before. If you could pick up a stick, that's more than you had before. If you could get on the neighborhood council,
I don't see a link.
organize your neighborhood.
This is a copy of the resolution. So you can go back in the archive and screen cap that. I will leave that for organizations.
The district attorney and Charles Beck out to a press conference just 2 weeks ago and said that by the end of the year, he would make sure that the autopsy results are released. That's not acceptable. These men were killed in August. December 31st changes nothing. We want these autopsy results released now. So we want justice for Mike Brown. Yeah. We're going to raise every voice we can in Los Angeles and wherever we're at. But we have Mike Browns right here. And we need to take responsibility for where we are. I just want to tell you that when Oscar Grant was killed in Oakland by BART officer Johannes Messerly,
this is a rally.
Oakland stood up. And
we have several groups speaking.
Fled the state. He quit the department.
Yesterday was very much in solidarity.
Within 8 days, the Alameda County prosecutor was forced to send a posse to chase him down. They tracked him by his cell phone, arrested him in Lake Tahoe, and dragged him in handcuffs.
Not co-opted yesterday.
Within 8 days of Oscar Grant's
we just have different organizations with different causes speaking today.
This is about Oakland than about Los Angeles. This is Los Angeles. These men were killed in August.
But I do
8
feel they
days
all
after Oscar Grant was killed, Messerly was in handcuffs charged with murder. Sure, they moved the trial to Los Angeles, but that man was convicted and put in prison. It wasn't the conviction that we needed. It wasn't the prison sentence that we needed, but it was the first time since 1983. The first time in 40 years in California that a police officer was charged with murder, put on trial, and convicted for killing somebody in the line of duty. What they did in Oakland, we have no excuse for not doing in Los Angeles. We need to organize. We need to unite. We need to go back into our neighborhoods, go back to where we work, go back to our churches, whatever community you come from, and organize that community, and then come back together. Can I see 3 clipboards with sign-up lists? Can I see 3 sign-up lists? 1, 2. Don't make me jump on somebody for a clipboard. We need everybody's contact information.
October 23rd, South Central Neighborhood Council. You should be able to find a link there.
When we come out and face our enemy, we need one line. Us, them. 99%, 1%. The people, the imperialists, however you understand it, we need to be together. Unite the many and defeat the few. Black, brown, immigrant, wherever you were born, whatever language you speak, whatever music you dance to, whatever food you eat, whatever sexuality you are, whatever your background is, that doesn't matter, and don't let anybody tell you it matters. What matters is that we are the people. And these people are oppressing us. They're murdering, especially our black and brown brothers and sisters in the streets with impunity. We need to fight, but it needs to be an organized fight. Please take a copy of our resolution. Please sign that sign-up list. We're happy to march to the jail.
I did
we
sign.
want those people released, but we want the autopsy results. We want those cops locked up and charged with murder.
That's it.
We want criminal charges right here in Los Angeles against these killer cops.
Although I will allow the established activists copies. Try to get one later.
In New York City for the murder of Eric Garner.
Again, go back in
In Los
the
Angeles for the
archives
boy
and
that was killed
screen
last
cap.
week with the toy gun for who was the 13-year-old kid that was shot with the rifle? Eddie Lopez up in where was it?
Andy Lopez in the Bay.
Andy Lopez was 13 years old, killed last summer holding a toy gun. There's all over Manuel Diaz in Anaheim, Kelly Thomas in Fullerton, DeAndre Preston, Devin. We could call names all night.
John Crawford in Ohio.
John Crawford in Ohio.
Ty Gurley.
So many.
Yeah.
Hold the roll. Hold the roll. It's time to stop.
So
Stop it.
But what we need, as Kiana said, is community control over the police. Oh yeah, of course we need to end the
Since you
capitalism,
said you
but
can
we're
go
right
back.
here now, and we need to get from here to there.
Okay,
and the
sorry.
road forward is democracy. America has never been a democracy. Never been a democracy. W.E.B. Du Bois said in The Souls of Black Folk that America needs to admit black people on the basis of democracy, or America will cease to exist.
I will go down for
America will accept
5
black people on the
seconds,
basis
take a
of
photo,
democracy,
and then
or
be right
America
back.
will cease to exist.
Please refresh. I'll be right back.
Applying this to the police department, we need community